There is a way to get exactly what you want from women by putting in at least 10 times less effort than other men put in. Alright, you will understand that by the end of this video, and you'll be surprised that most men don't know about this. So the thing is, so many men, whether they're single or in a relationship with a woman, think that they need to do a lot in order to get sexual and romantic interest from her. They don't realize that all the extra effort that they're putting in is unnecessary, and it actually turns the woman off. Right? So I'll give you 4 examples. I could give you 50, but let's not go there. I'll just give you 4 so you understand it, and then I'll share what you need to do instead, and I'll give you examples of that so you know how to do it. So first, let's have a look at what most men do where they put in way too much effort and then they don't actually get the results that they want. Number 1, being very agreeable. So agreeing with her opinions about everything or as much as possible to make it seem like he supports her and is aligned with her, right? They have things in common. For the most part, he will also be afraid to speak up and say what he really thinks or feels in a moment with a woman because he's worried that she's going to reject him or judge him negatively because of that, and then he's not going to get what he wants. So he just puts on an act of being very agreeable. And that's a lot of work for him mentally and emotionally, right? He's got to act like he is the same as her or similar to her, and he's got to constantly remember all the things that she's saying to hopefully not trip up and then go back on what he was saying. He's basically putting in loads of effort to hopefully make her see that they have things in common, that they're aligned with each other. And if he does that enough, then she's going to reward him with sex if he's single or a relationship. Or if he's in a relationship, he's going to get the affection, the respect, the love, the sex that he wants and is craving. But the problem is that most women can pick up on it. They can pick up when a guy isn't being authentic, and they also don't like that he seems to just go along with whatever she says, or pretty much everything that she says. And as a result, she starts to become suspicious of, hang on, is he putting on an act just to be liked by her? Is he putting on an act to get what he wants from her? Or are they really aligned as people? Do they really have that much in common? But an important thing to point out here is that you can have 10 things in common with a woman and she'll still friend zone you if you don't use the approach that I'm going to teach you later in this video that just gets rid of all the games, all the mental and emotional effort of trying to be liked by her, and so on. So let's move on to number 2. Pretending to have no sexual desire. So he feels sexually attracted to her, but he tries to seem like an innocent guy who would never think about sex or look at her in a sexual way. So he's thinking, well, look, I've heard women say that all men think about is sex, and I've heard women say that they want a guy to become their friend first, or I've heard women say that they don't want to be treated like some sort of sexual object or something like that. He will have heard something, and as a result, he will think that, okay, the way to get results with women is to come across as though I don't want any of that sexual stuff, right? I'm just happy to talk with her. Yeah. I'm just happy to talk for 2-3 hours, maybe 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months. I'm fine. If I'm in the friend zone, no problem. I'll just keep talking. And eventually she's going to like me enough as a person, and I'm going to get the sex that I want. I'm going to get the affection that I want. I'm going to get the relationship that I want. But she doesn't feel the same way. And there are so many reasons for that. I won't get too much into the science in this video, but essentially most women experience what's called responsive sexual desire, meaning that you actually have to create feelings of sexual attraction inside of the woman rather than just hoping that she experiences spontaneous sexual desire, which is what most men experience, and she then just wants sex because she wants it, and that's it. That's one of many reasons. Another reason is that when a woman is interacting with a guy, sometimes she will know that, okay, if the guy is continuing to talk to her, then he has a sexual or romantic interest in her, but other women don't actually think that. They think, well, maybe he just wants to be friends. Maybe he really likes another girl and is currently pursuing her, but he's just talking to her because he wants to talk to her, right? He likes talking to her. He just wants to be friends with her. Or in some cases, she assumes that maybe he just doesn't see her in that way. He doesn't see her in a sexual way. He only sees her in a friendly type of way. Alternatively, she just comes to the conclusion that, okay, well, we get along and we can talk, but there's no obvious sexual spark between him and her, so they would just be better off as friends. Right? There's no point pursuing anything or trying to have sex because it might feel awkward. There's no point trying to have a relationship because it most likely won't last. Right? There isn't a strong sexual spark there, which is needed for a male-female relationship to actually turn into a romantic relationship that lasts. So, a guy who pretends to have no sexual desire for a woman usually thinks that he's doing a good and noble thing. Yet, the woman isn't impressed, and she doesn't jump all over him and say, "Wow, you seem to just be like a friend, and there's no sexual spark between us, so let's get it on, let's start dating." And the irony is that he could have gotten a result with her the first time he met her, and by result I mean phone number, kissing her, setting up a date, and in some cases even having sex on the first night or day that they meet, or the first date or second date. And after that, getting into a committed relationship. They become boyfriend and girlfriend, and they potentially go on to become husband and wife. And off they go, right? The guy used the approach that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. But when guys don't use the approach that I'm going to tell you about, they put in loads of effort with women, and they are thinking that they're doing the right thing. But they're actually causing themselves to get friend-zoned, rejected, and overlooked by women that would have actually been interested in them in a sexual and romantic way. And as a result, they end up thinking, well, women are just so difficult, right? It's too hard. Maybe I need to work out more. Maybe I need to become more successful. And then women will like me at that point, right? They'll eventually like me if I can just become successful enough. Then all of a sudden another guy comes into the interaction, and you will have seen this before, and you may have even experienced it when talking to a woman that you found attractive. Another guy came in and immediately made her feel the way that she really wants to feel when she's interacting with a man, and she suddenly just started focusing on him. And all of a sudden there are sparks flying back and forth between him and her. She's smiling, she's giggling. She really likes him in that sexual and romantic way, and they start kissing, or they exchange phone numbers, or they start dating, they get into a relationship right away. And the other guy, maybe yourself, has been sitting there talking to her for 2-3 hours, or maybe 2-3 weeks, or you've known her for 2 or 3 months, or maybe years, and you just can't get anywhere. And it's like, well, what the heck's going on here? Another thing that guys do where they put in way too much effort that they don't need to be putting in, it's unnecessary, is qualifying himself. So he will be subtly hinting at or directly talking about his quote-unquote boyfriend material qualities, such as being a disciplined guy, a guy who is loyal, ambitious, he's kind, he's respectful, and so on. He might also talk about how other guys aren't genuine with women, but he is. Additionally, he might also try to subtly mention the things that he's achieved in life and what he's hoping to achieve in future, what his 5-year plan is, or his 10-year plan is, or, you know, how he's currently working on something that could make him successful, and so on. And the woman knows what's going on, right? She can pick up on the fact that he's trying to qualify himself to her. He's trying to talk about and show some qualities that make him good boyfriend material to hopefully make her think that, oh, right, this guy's disciplined. You know what? He's been going to the gym for the last 4 years. That takes a lot of discipline. And he eats well, and geez, he's respectful as well. You know what? We should start a relationship. But that's just not how it works. Additionally, not only is that not the way that it works with women, but when a woman gets a sense that a man is qualifying himself and is hoping to get a chance, then she starts playing hard to get. She feels like she is in the one-up position in terms of value, and she's going to be essentially doing him a little bit of a favor by getting with him, which then makes the whole thing so difficult. She starts being so much more judgmental and logical rather than going with her emotions. And as a result, she starts to nitpick and think about things that she doesn't like about him, and she then friend zones him or rejects him. And the last one I'll mention is assuming that he needs to be 100% serious about everything around her. He wants to show her that he's serious about being respectful, listening, and being as responsible about everything as possible, to hopefully be liked by her. He's doing that because he hasn't yet realized that although it's great to be respectful, to listen, and to be responsible, life isn't always that serious, and he can relax and stop trying so hard around her. So the thing is, when a guy uses an approach with women where he's trying to show that he's good enough, and that he's a good guy, and that he's good boyfriend material, then essentially he's the one in the one-down position, where he's trying to hopefully be approved by women, right? So you may have heard the phrase seeking approval before, and essentially most guys do that without even realizing it. Some guys may behave in a tough, aloof sort of way, but at the end of the day, in their mind, they're still seeking approval from women. They're still waiting for signs that they are okay, that they are good enough for the woman. They're still seeking that approval. Other guys will seek approval in a much more obvious way, where they'll have that sort of wide-eyed look on their face where they're like, they're trying to be as nice as they can, as good as they can, and hopefully if they just say and do everything right, the woman's going to approve of them and then they're going to get a result. Whereas another guy will come along and rather than trying to seek approval from women, where he's hoping to be liked, he'll just cut through all that nonsense and all that hard work by making them feel attracted as he talks to them. And this is something that you can do instantly, and it's actually very easy. Once you understand how it works, I'll give you some examples in a minute, but once you understand how it works, you realize that you don't actually have to do a lot anymore. All you've got to do is display some traits that make women feel attracted to you as you talk to them, and they stop being so judgmental all of a sudden. They're not nitpicking. Instead, the woman's feeling attracted to you, and she then goes with her emotions, right? She goes with how she feels, and she starts to rationalize in her head that, okay, he may not look like the guy that is normally her type, but she's feeling very attracted to him. She finds him cute. She finds him sexy. She finds him charming. She loves the way that he makes her feel. So a very simple way to start attracting women instantly, rather than trying to hopefully be liked by them and putting in all that effort to be liked as a person to hopefully get a chance, is to use what I call playfully challenging humor. So for example, imagine that you're talking to a woman and she says, "I'm really into yoga and meditation these days." What are you going to say? What are you going to say to that? Most guys don't really know what to say at that point to playfully challenge her or to make her feel attracted, so they just default into, all right, I'm going to try to be liked here as a person. What does the guy do then? He'll ask things like, oh, so what made you get into that? Or where do you do that? How long have you been doing it? Is it fun? Do you go to a class or do you do it yourself at home? And he's hoping that if he talks to her and keeps the conversation going long enough and gets along with her and maybe has some things in common with her, then she's going to give him a chance. Right? They're going to have some things in common. Right? She's going to think, hang on a second, I'm really into yoga and meditation these days, and he said he likes that. So let's have sex. Let's have a relationship. Right? It just doesn't work that way. What a woman is looking to feel around a man that she's going to have a sexual or romantic relationship with is attraction. And attraction is something that you can create. Attraction is a reaction to attractive traits. When you display traits that are attractive to women, they automatically feel attracted to you. For example, we men don't need a woman to be playfully challenging us or to playfully mess with us in order to feel attracted to her. We don't need that. But a woman does need to be able to see that you're not looking at her as being in the one-up position and you're in the one-down position seeking approval from her. Women don't want a guy in that one-down position because it kills the sexual dynamic. Right? A woman doesn't want to feel like she's more powerful and more dominant than you when it comes to the sexual experience, right? She is going to open up and be penetrated by you, right? She is the one opening up and surrendering. She wants to see that you're actually in the one-up position. And playfully challenging humor is one of so many different traits that I teach that instantly shows the woman that, okay, she is in the one-down position and that's where she wants to be. That's what makes her feel turned on. And it's not about being disrespectful or rude or demeaning women or anything like that, but energetically, she wants to feel that you're in the one-up position and she's in the one-down, and that automatically turns her on, right? It automatically turns her on. You don't have to try to get to know her for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, 2 years, trying to show her that you're a really good guy, that you've got great boyfriend qualities, and you're disciplined and you're smart and all these sorts of things. You can make her feel attracted to you in that boyfriend, girlfriend, or lover type of way right away, right? So, for example, if she said, I'm really into yoga and meditation these days, what are you going to say? Well, most guys watching this video are going to say, I don't know. I don't know what to say. So I'll give you some examples. She says, I'm really into yoga and meditation these days, and you can say something like this. Right, okay, let me guess. You also drink a green smoothie in the morning, do you? Jeez. Or, well, that kind of sounds boring, doesn't it? I thought you were cool. Or, yeah, I'm cool with that. As long as you don't invite me to go to yoga with you on our second or third date or something, that won't be cool. Or, yoga and meditation, that sounds boring. I play video games. Much cooler. Or, yeah, you look like the type. A real hippie. Or, so what you're telling me is that you're a hippie. And just a reminder here, by saying that you're only joking, and she's going to laugh. Women get this sort of stuff. She knows that you're coming from a place of love, not hate, right? It's not a case of you saying, Let me guess, like you also drink a green smoothie in the morning? Jeez. And being serious about it. Instead, energetically, she can feel that you're only joking, right? You're only messing with her. Right, okay, let me guess. You also drink a green smoothie in the morning, do you? Jeez. And with the next example I'm going to give you, it doesn't actually need to be that funny. Instead, you can just come from a place where you're not looking at her as being above you and that you need to seek approval from her. Instead, you feel so confident in yourself, which is attractive to her, by the way, automatically makes her feel attracted, that you have the confidence to say something like this. Oh, you too? Jeez. I've heard a lot of people talking about meditation these days, but does it actually provide any benefit? And that way she sees that you're a guy who isn't afraid to express some feeling or opinion on the topic and isn't a guy who's putting on a nice guy act to seek her approval and hopefully be liked, right? Most guys will say something like, oh, cool, so what made you get into that? He's hoping that if he's nice enough to her, right, and she likes talking to him about her life, and they're able to get along, then she's going to reward him with kissing, sex, love, a relationship. But what's going to be missing is attraction, right? So a guy who is seeking approval like that and trying to be liked, he'll put in so much effort talking to the woman and, frankly, putting on an act of being interested in things that he may not even be interested in. Right, so she's talking about fashion and he couldn't give a crap about that, but he puts on an act of being interested in it rather than having the guts, the courage, the non-neediness to playfully mess with her about it. He can't do that because from his perspective, what he thinks he's got to do is be as likable as possible, get along with the woman as much as possible, and then she's going to reward him. And guys do that when they're single and they also do it in a relationship. They forget that you get results with women instantly when you make them feel attracted, right? Instantly. And as I said, playfully challenging humor is just one way of making a woman feel like she's in that one down position where you're not seeking approval from her, right? You can do it by having untamed energy, or you can do it by displaying assertiveness. You can do it by displaying what I call loving dominance. You can do it by being more confident than her in the moment, or having what I call emotional independence. And that means that your emotional state isn't dependent on what she is saying or doing, right? And she will then notice that, oh, right, you're not relying on her to hopefully show you that she likes you in order for you to feel good about yourself. But most guys do rely on that. They can't be confident enough in themselves because they don't actually know how to make women feel attracted. And for their entire life, for most guys, they've been trying to get results with women by being as likable as possible, but that gets them rejected or friend zoned. So they don't actually feel like they're attractive to women. They don't think that they're good enough. But when you actually know how to make women feel attracted, you see that they react to you with feelings of attraction instantly and continually throughout an interaction and into a relationship. And some guys may think, well, geez, that might be a lot of work then. I've got to make sure that I'm attractive all the time. It's not a lot of work. The way that it works is that you either display the attractive trait or the unattractive trait, right? You're either going to be displaying and being confident, or you're going to be displaying insecurity and being insecure. Being insecure and displaying insecurity is a lot more work. It's a lot more stressful, and it causes you to experience bad results in life. Being confident, once you understand how to do it, once you understand the mindset, and then actually being like that, is so much easier and it gets you the results that you want. Same with something like flirting. Some guys think, well, I'm just not a natural flirt, right? So they think that flirting is just not for them. And then they go through their life being neutral with women and women don't feel attracted to them or women lose interest in them in a relationship. And they think that women are just so difficult and they can't keep a woman. So they need to work out more. They need to become more successful. They do that, but then they get rejected or dumped anyway. And the guy mistakenly thinks that all that pain that he's experiencing is something that he has to experience because he can't flirt with women. I'm not a natural flirt. When flirting is something so easy to do, it's so subtle, and it instantly creates a sexual vibe and sexual tension between you and a woman. And once you get used to doing it, it's so much easier. You put in so much less effort. Just a little flirting glance or a bit of a facial expression or a flirtatious comment when you're interacting with a woman gets you pretty much all the results that you want compared to hours or weeks or months of hoping to be liked by the woman, but she doesn't feel it anyway. So if you've been in situations like those before where you've been trying to come across as the perfect good guy only to end up overlooked or in the friend zone, you know the frustration, you know the feeling. And the thing is, maybe you're confident in other areas of life, but something shifts when you're around a woman that you find attractive. You find yourself playing it safe and hoping that she'll notice how genuine or respectful you are, only for the interaction to feel flat and lack the all-important spark that actually causes a man and a woman to want to have sex or begin a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. The thing is, most guys don't realize that they just need to show a few traits that women automatically feel attracted to, and their entire relationship to women changes. Suddenly, women want you in a sexual and romantic way, and it doesn't require you to put in loads of effort trying to prove to her that you're a good guy with good intentions, who will always listen, always be respectful, and so on. Instead, she is attracted to you, so she wants you sexually and romantically right there and then. Anything else quote-unquote good about you is a bonus, but it's not required. Which is why women who do want a good guy will sometimes get with a guy who doesn't even treat them that well, because what they're looking for initially is a feeling of attraction. That's what's most important. If you get that right and you're a good guy, then she feels lucky to be getting a chance with you. However, I have to point out that if you get that right, if you know how to make women feel attracted and you're not a good guy, the woman still feels lucky to be getting a chance with you, because the most important thing initially is that the woman feels attracted to you. That is the feeling that she's looking for. And the thing is, I've given you an example of displaying one of the traits that will make a woman feel attracted to you, but there are so many others, right? And if you don't know how to display the traits that make women feel attracted to you rather than just like you as a person, then I recommend that you head over to masterattraction.com. At Master Attraction, I teach you all of the traits that make women feel sexually and romantically attracted to you. Even if you display a couple of traits, then you're going to be so much more attractive to women compared to if you're displaying the opposite of those traits. Additionally, when you display attractive traits, it means that you don't have to put in all the effort to hopefully be liked by the woman. Instead, she likes you right away because you're making her feel attracted to you, which is the most important thing when it comes to a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship or a husband-wife relationship or even a lover type of relationship. Whether it's just going to be sex or a serious relationship between a man and a woman, the most important thing that needs to be there at the core is attraction. Everything else that is good about you is simply a bonus. But if you're unable to make women feel attracted to you when you interact with them, then you're going to have to put in loads of effort and you're not going to get what you want with women. At the end of the day, it's always going to be a disappointment for you because you're trying to be liked as a person to get what you want when she actually wants to feel attracted to you. And before I give you a final secret in this video, here's just some of what the members at Master Attraction have been saying. One of the members who had zero confidence in himself and thought that women wouldn't find him attractive used the technique that he learned in the first lesson to hook up with his yoga instructor. Other members of the community have been meeting up, going out and meeting women and getting great results. Another member went out and kissed multiple girls in a night and got multiple phone numbers. Another couple of members of the MAC, that's the Master Attraction community that you get access to when you're learning from the lessons, went out and one of the guys had never picked up a woman in a bar before and he did it on the first night and she was a cute blonde and as he said, he couldn't believe how smooth and easy it was. By the way, I'll point out that you don't have to interact with the community. You can just remain anonymous and see what is being posted, but you can also participate in the online community if you want and even meet up with members in person. Another member had sex with 3 different women 3 days in a row, and for guys who don't understand the techniques, that might sound hard to believe, like how could he do that? But when you know how to make women feel attracted to you, rather than trying to get them to like you, women want you. They want you sexually and romantically, and as long as you have the right confident mindset, which I teach in the first lesson, then you're not afraid to shoot your shot. You're not afraid to move it forward. And this particular member has been getting amazing results. This is another member from Austin, Texas. So I have members from all over the world, but this member had only been using dating apps and hadn't been getting quality women. But when he started using the attraction techniques when talking to women in person, he slept with 2 different attractive women 2 nights in a row. And finally, another member attracted a woman on a beach and ended up kissing and cuddling with her in the water. There are so many more success stories that I could share with you, but let's get back to the video. So a final secret that I want to share with you is that you'll notice from now on that most guys don't know about this. Most guys assume that they need to do a lot and put in a lot of effort to hopefully get a little bit of a result from a woman. And those guys will be trying very hard to be liked. But then you'll also notice that in a small percentage of cases, there'll be another guy who knows how to make women feel attracted. And rather than trying to get to know her and put in loads of effort over hours or weeks or months, he'll make her feel attracted instantly by, for example, playfully challenging her or flirting with her, or displaying what I call untamed energy, or being assertive, or being more confident than her in the moment. And that doesn't mean being a show-off or anything like that, but being emotionally stronger than her. And she will feel like she's in that one down position, And as a result, she'll instantly like him more than the guy who is trying to be liked. The guy who's trying to be liked is in that one down position and he's ruining the potential sexual dynamic between him and the woman. But the guy who comes over and makes her feel attracted and makes her feel like she's in that one down position in terms of dominance, strength, confidence, whatever it may be, she instantly feels attracted to him. She instantly likes him because that's the sexual dynamic that women look for. And it's not about demeaning women, treating women badly, but instead, it's about not seeking approval from women, not looking up to women as someone that you need to get approved by in order to get a chance. And when you can make women feel attracted to you by displaying the traits that put her in that one down position, she automatically likes you. She automatically wants something to happen between you and her. As a result, you get more from women by putting in so much less effort than other guys put in because you're not trying hard to hopefully be liked. You're not putting in loads of hours or weeks or maybe even months of effort hoping that she's going to see that you're a good enough guy and then she may consider potentially giving you a chance. Instead, she really likes you right away because she's feeling attracted to you. You're not making the classic mistake that so many guys make of trying hard to hopefully be liked enough by the woman. You're making her feel attracted to you, and it's surprisingly easy, and you will have witnessed it in your own life when another guy came along and made a woman feel attracted right in front of you when you had been trying to hopefully be liked by her. I hope you can understand that you don't have to put in loads of effort trying hard to hopefully be liked by women. A woman will really like you right away if you focus on making her feel attracted to you, and as a result, you'll get so much more from women by doing so much less than other guys.